Hello and welcome back to Ready Rhino 1. This is Ryan, and we'll be continuing our playthrough of Factorio. Where we last left off, I was in the middle of trying to set up, so get through some more research and start to set up a smelt line. So I want to talk briefly about the mods. So the mods, I went and updated the mods after the last recording. There's a couple that just didn't update. So the ones I have on now, these are just libraries that are used by other mods to actually implement things. I didn't really want to bother going through and figuring out if I could just disable them. Far Reach, as you can see, is still not enabled because it's not compatible with the current version of the game. Same with Squeak Through, and same with the Water Well. So what I do have active is London Library's base mod has to have. They have a mini loader. Mini loaders are kind of fun. They allow you to, they take up one square. They don't have to be powered, although that's an option. You can make them require power, and they're very useful, both in design. They're kind of expensive, actually, so it's kind of give and take. I like them because some of my designs are around those. Let's see. Mining drones. This is not the head developer or one of the lead developers. I don't know if Clonin and Kovarex are the same person. I don't think they are. That doesn't make any sense. But one of the developers, one of the actual Factorio developers actually produced this mod. It's kind of convenient. It doesn't require power, but allows you to mine stuff. It's actually really nice. I'm going to be keeping that one on. Squeak Through, unfortunately, did not update, but some of the stuff is really easy. So these mods are, they're just like zip archives of some JSON files. And so in order to actually update them, if you want, you can simply just open it up, one of the JSON files in there, and just say like, hey, this is for version 1.1, and it'll work. But you're running the risk of it not actually working. But for this one, I'm pretty sure you can do that. Warehousing mod is kind of neat. Let me check something here. So the warehousing mod, this one gives you access to massive warehouses for storage and stuff. They take up a lot of room, or somewhat more room. These are really nice, honestly. Storage of a lot of materials is kind of difficult, and there's not anything that I know of in the game, vanilla, that adequately lets you do that. So I will probably these I'm sure will be updated eventually, or I might just go in later and actually update them like what I described, where I just tick a box and check some stuff. I wonder if there's an alternative that we can actually do a search here. I don't see it. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm sure this will get updated. I mean, 1.1 just became available very recently. And so the mod developers will probably get around to it. So Factorissimo. This is one I actually had used in the past. It lets you, when you put one down, you can when you go inside, it's a much bigger. So things are much bigger on the inside than they are on the outside. It allows you to make more compact designs, and that's the reason why I have it. So I think we're okay. Let's continue. Yeah, these are all blueprints I had. Ooh, not great. Not good at all. Those are some of the ones I designed. Well, that's my base design. That's still there. Oh. Hmm. Well, I have maps where I have it sketched out. I'll probably have to go into the map and recreate blueprints from them. So that might still be possible. I spent a lot of time coming up with with an actual nuclear or uranium enrichment design and setup that I think was pretty decent. This is a part of it, so this part right here will actually still work, and that made it a tileable thing that I won't get into it. That there's a little more. It gets a little more deeper into the whole thing, and it's just not. It. we'll get to it eventually. This is a good one. I found this one. This is mainly was built for Factorissimo, but it works just as well outside. But we'll be using that for sure. Okay, so let's get back to it a little bit here. I might make this, well, I might stop the recording and then pick it up again and just combine the two into a single recording episode. Let's see where we were left. Let me see. This thing is still producing. We're trying to get fast inserters. I now have access to mining depots, which I will take advantage of course. Excuse me. I'm going to be placing one right here to capture the coal. I will be placing one right here to capture iron and placing another one right here to capture copper. So I'll show you how those work in just a second. This one I'll get later. Right. I'll put him right there. So you'll see that it actually casts a pretty wide net. And so what happens is anything within here is subject to one of these. So you tell it to filter, right? So this is what it looks at, this green box that gets produced. It looks at all the different resources within the box and it filters on whatever you're telling it. So I tell it to do coal, it's only going to look for coal inside the box. If I tell it to filter on copper, it'll look for copper inside the box. I want coal. And it's the same exact thing with this. This casts a pretty decent net. And this guy is going to be iron. This guy is going to be copper. Now the hard part is you have to put mining drones in here, which are just little tiny engineer looking guys. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to produce 5 each, and I'm going to put them into a box. I don't know. The far reach thing is so nice. I'm going to put them into a box. Excuse me. I'll put them into a box for now, so that we can. Oh, yeah. So this little blue thing right here is when you go to actually mine uranium. This stuff right here. It requires, you can see ingredients, requires a mining drone and sulfuric acid. So you have to pump sulfuric acid into the system in order for them to mine uranium. That is a challenge of uranium processing. It's not a non-significant one either, but it's doable. So I have a smart rail system that I found online, and of course it's not here anymore, so that's very disconcerting. Oh boy. I think I saved it all out elsewhere though, so we should still be able to get at it. Yeah, that's not good. I'll have to find that again because that was an extremely good one. So there's a smart rail system that I was using that was very, very nice, and now I don't have it, and that's not what I wanted to see. Excuse me. Fast inserters just finished. We now have logistics. Let me dump those guys in there for now. I don't want to start mining stuff just yet, because I need to come up with a storage system for storing the raw ore, and then we'll get to that eventually. So this is what I want. So we're going to make this a lot easier. I'm going to get him, produce one of these guys. There we go. And get him, produce that. This guy will be sufficient enough. Let's see, did I get mini loaders? I did. But they're not going to give me... So this game, I don't know what happened, but I was positive I had a recipe that gave me what are called shoots. And the shoots were like super slow, but they would basically, you would put a shoot down and it would draw from the adjacent like container and output on both sides of the belt. So the inserters are only going to put on the right side of the belt, however they're facing, and draw from the right side, I believe, as well. So that's kind of okay. The problem is that, as you can see, I am only half saturating the belt, and I would like for it to saturate both sides. Now there's a way around it, which I can't... Oh, here they are. All right, let's get rid of this idiot. Damn. See how slow they come out, but it's fast enough. Honestly, I would rather have that. So this is going to continuously pull in the coal from both sides of the belt and inserting it directly into the buffer chest, which then pulls it directly out and back onto that. Maybe it was here the whole time and I just didn't see it. So I'm going to do an in-place upgrade of the wooden chest with an iron chest, which will provide me additional space for the buffer. So we should be good there. All right. I think that was been there the whole time, and I just haven't been seeing it. No. Mini loader. Okay, so yeah, definitely part of the mini loader mod. So I wasn't crazy. Well, I'm not currently crazy. So now the next thing I have to do is I have to determine... Still have plenty. One, this is 12, I think. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, yes. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 5, and 6. Okay, now that means, and the reason I do that is I need to have a storage idea. Well, let's see, I need to actually... Is that correct? So what I'm doing is I'm actually just trying to measure out what I will be needing in terms of where these things will eventually end up. So I'll be plopping down additional things down here, and I want to make sure my storage is going to be set far enough apart from it. Because what will happen is I'll actually pull two of these guys together down here and out. So the actual storage will end up somewhere in between, right, make it out a little bit like there. Now this is kind of making me reduce my main bus to kind of head east, and I think I was originally trying to make it go west, but I don't know. It doesn't necessarily matter. We'll get through it. I can run it past this. I usually make a steel smelt here. I'll have to pull things across that to avoid this. And I'll move them all down around it and then move it out to the east. There. So that guy's set up. That's where I'm going to be putting my storage arrays. least for the stuff. I'm not necessarily worried about this backing up because these guys don't really produce, but I can always put something in between here. It's not that big of a deal. Or I can put something small right around here and get it through. However, I do need something here and probably something here. Right. So we'll start with those guys. I'll definitely need those. Let's get this sorted out. So I'm gonna need 2, 3, 12 those guys, and how many of these ones? 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Probably additional one. We got a lot to produce here. But we'll get there. I think we have enough to really get started. Yep. We'll get a lot of those guys. And we'll get moving on this. So I'll be the first one. Another one right there. And that should be good. The waiting is the hardest part. Right. So I'll be producing out of there. Producing out of there. And producing out of there. These will draw directly out and directly into this guy. Oh, I think I have to do this in order to get it in there. And I'll need another one of these to pull it out of here and down here. Okay. Here we go. Now we're reversing it. So I have to reverse these. So the coal's going to come in here. It's going to hit the splitter, and half of it's going to go into the underground belt. The other half is going to go in here and get split and go on either side here. This underground belt's going to carry it this way, carry it over here, where I have to have another one of these guys. Now, I'm actually going to probably stop it from continuing right there. I'm not going to do that. But we will get the rest of these in place. All right, so this is going to be pretty good. We're going to right there. Perfect. All right. 2, 3. There. So these guys are going to come out and start producing, and they'll be hauling back coal into this thing. We'll make sure it works. So they put it back here, it goes all through. It's going to go through here, it gets split, and it's going to go out on either side. I'm going to let that back up significantly. I'm not going to worry about a smelt line for this just yet. That's probably why I should bring that back, because that way I can stop it if I really want. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. There. So now that will export. I need to produce a lot more inserters, but in the meantime, they're going to back up. So the way this works is as you can see, it's going to be outputting coal on the right side of the belt and the left side of the belt, but basically just using up one side. So you can see it backing up here. The other side is not used. So what I'll be doing is I'll be pushing the raw ore on the other side of the belt in the same manner that's doing the coal. So that way on both sides of the belt, we've got coal and we've got raw iron ore, or just our ore. The inserters will pick up either, depending on what the destination needs, and then they'll produce, they'll smelt to iron plates, and then these inserters will export onto here. And then we'll continue them down. And that's where it ends. That's the export, all right? So these will actually then come out to here. Like that. Just like that. And I will probably have, for now, 2 chutes. Just like that. So in this design, I'll be immediately dropping into this, and I'll replace these guys with a warehouse when I get to that point, which is far from now. So this is mining drone productivity. It's a little expensive, so we're going to hold off on it, but eventually we'll want to get that. I may not though, because like these mining drones are okay, but sometimes they get a little messed up and they just stop working for some reason. All right, so let's start producing. Yep. So I'm going to put him here, and that's going to be that. Now, for right now, I'll be moving around all this around later. Because I will be having a bigger, I'll be replacing this and putting a bigger warehouse here so I can feed the warehouse here, and it takes out from both here and splits to here and to here. when I get to that point. So it looks like I can let's get started. Okay. I'll be off by 1. All right, I need 3 more. Not enough. 1. Nice. Ugh. That's where I needed to put my money in. All right. There, that should be good. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so obviously the next problem I have is that none of this stuff is actually wired up to work. But we will get there. Okay, so these guys are actually tiled to allow me to do that. Did I put... Did. Okay, so I can run it this way and connect it up here. So close. Bam. So now these guys should start producing. And they are. I need 24 those things. Oh, it's 11. So this guy is still doing about 40 to 60% of its power output right now, so I'm still good. I don't actually need to implement the other steam engine, though I could. So that's nice. Looks like we're kind of halted on this. I don't want to put too much more into here until I create the other thing, which I'll be creating up here, I believe. Let's go ahead and get these guys started, because they'll just back up into here. We'll just leave it right there. All right, thanks for joining me on this episode of the Factorio playthrough. I really hope that you will join me in the next one and just kind of follow my progression on the game. Thanks.